What is going on? How y'all doing out there? This is your Uncle Steve here on a Monday, August 9th. And boy, with every day that creeps in, we getting closer and closer and closer to some real football being played, which includes this Friday as we kick off the preseason against the Tennessee Titans and hoping to get a glimpse of someone we used to know on the sidelines. But just looking forward to seeing some real live ball, live bullets out there on the field. Went through all of the practice stuff, talking about the things we saw last week. Just interested in looking on Falcons.com and getting a chance to see some of the wired up sessions. And today was one of the days that they actually had Matt Ryan on there as well. So that was kind of cool. To be able to see that out there, just to see our players, and this week finally see them throw some passes, run some balls, make some tackles. That is football season, man. It's that time. We hopefully can get through all the muddle and stuff like that, which is partly what I'm going to address a little bit today. I've been watching a lot of posts, and I know it's hard because it's been a long off season, made longer by a lot of the things going on in the world, pandemic wise, and all those things, schedules changing, all of that. But it's been a long off season. You're talking about a fan base, a sport that can't wait to get started is football, professional football, and albeit college football will be there too. But boy, I can't wait until the professionals kick this thing off. We have had so much back and forth in the group in Atlanta Bird Gang about what defines a fan. And I thought I would take this time just to bring up a couple of those comments, and you see them every day. Y'all know the ones I'm talking about, and I'm going to highlight a few of them. But every day we go through, it seems like the same conversations about what's a real fan, what's a fake fan, I'll save some of it because I have some of the comments down below. But I just wanted to take the time to bring it out right here. Hey, I see you, Armani. How you doing, man? Good to see you. My brother Ryan, what is going on, man? RJ, good to see y'all in the house. Also good to see a couple of y'all watching me live on Uncle Steve's Lounge on YouTube. I appreciate that. Again, this year we will be doing live reaction games on the away games. So that means we'll kind of like streaming, but of course you can't watch the TV, but I'll be watching the game along with you all on here just to get live reaction. I'm excited to do that this year, and hopefully you all will spread the word and let everybody know. And I don't want to get in the way of what they do within the Atlanta Bird Gang group, because they have a great streaming product with our brother Sean, who helps stream the stuff inside the group. But I'm also going to be available on YouTube, so if you get the chance, turn on a YouTube channel, and we can have instant reaction going on at the same time. So anyway, so I titled this my favorite remarks in the Atlanta Bird Gang. And really, to be honest, which is my favorite remarks in a lot of Atlanta Falcon fan bases, where we are questioning are fandom or lack thereof. And you'll see what I'm talking about. So one of the most, the biggest question that you see out there and that always gets a response. Matter of fact, if you want to start a post right now, post this right quick on your post and see how many people react. I guarantee you're going to get about 80 to 100 in the first hour. And the favorite one is, why do y'all hate Matt? And the reason why you hear a lot of people saying that is because it's not a hate of Matt. It's the idea that, again, and you have to work with me for those who don't understand what I'm talking about. Matt Ryan is the quarterback of an NFL team. And I don't care whether you're Tom Brady all the way down to whoever the quarterback for Jacksonville last year, who was at Minshew, all the way down to him. If you're the quarterback of the team, folks, you are the face of the team. And if you're the face of the team, trust me, you're going to have criticism when you lose, and they'll give you love and throw you bouquets of flowers when you win. And it's not the fact that Matt hasn't shown up statistically in a lot of ways, but it is something to say that our highest paid player is still here. And at this time, one of the few denominators that are still on this team in 2021. And I think from that standpoint, that's what makes it seem like there is this harsh blame of Matt Ryan. But it really isn't, y'all. It's really a fact that Matt Ryan is the quarterback of the team. It's like Josh Allen is the quarterback of Buffalo. When they win, he's the best. When they lose, they criticize. Folks, you can go to every single quarterback in this league, including Tom Brady. There were a lot of folks in New England and Tom Brady when he left the year he got beat finally by Patrick Mahomes. Not Patrick Mahomes, by Tennessee. There were a lot of folks thinking, oh, that's Tom Brady. Tom Brady can't do it anymore. Get him out of here. It happens in all fan bases. And it's not a personal dig at Matt Ryan. It's more of what the position of quarterback represents for each football team. That's the bottom line. It's not a hate for him. And I know there are a lot of people that just can't separate themselves from that. But that's what it's all about. Matt is one of those guys that I don't care how you slice it. He's going to get blamed. He's going to get, if the Falcons mess around and go 10-7 this year, he'll be the comeback player of the year. But until then, I think it's just fair criticism sometimes that, hey, Matt represents the winning and losing side of things here in Atlanta. And I don't know. There's no other way to really put it. So why do y'all hate Matt Ryan? No, we don't. Nobody hates Matt Ryan. It's not that at all. One of my other favorite comments on here. It's a team sport. You can't blame one person. No, you can't blame one person. One person does not make the tackles, goes on the other side, throws the ball, and all of that. I don't think when people are directing their ire towards Matt Ryan that is that personal. I think when people look at the team and look at the changes, we're going to keep bringing these people in. We're going to bring in Todd Gurley. We're going to draft these offensive linemen. We're going to do all of this. And they still see the same person in the backfield. And they're wondering, wow, we're making all these changes. Is it actually him? Or are there the changes being made around him? Now, of course, Thomas Dimitroff is open for criticism always for what he did to this franchise with a lot of bad picks and a lot of people that came in here that didn't quite work with the scheme we had going on. But at the same time, I mean, no one is exclaiming that it's not a team sport. Of course, we know it's a team sport. You got to take the good with the bad sometimes, though. I'm pretty sure Matt Ryan understands what he represents. He represents this team. He represents the Falcons. Sometimes when you look, and matter of fact, I'll say it like this. If we're looking at the ESPN highlights and they show some highlights, but then they show some other scores and they don't show who made the stats and who did whatever. And say it's I'm just trying to throw a random team out there. Say it's the Las Vegas Raiders against the Chargers, and the Chargers beat them 40-10. Your first instinct is what? Derek Carr didn't have a good game because they only put up 10 points. And you could turn around and Derek Carr could have gone 25 for 35, 340 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. But because he's the quarterback, that will always be, that part that he's going to carry with him, good or bad. You're not going to be able to escape that. So I think that's just something that comes along with the territory, folks. It is what it is. There's nothing you can do about that. One of the other statements that I get a chance to hear all the time, and you see in the posts all the time, it's not the offense. The defense is to blame, not Matt. Leave him alone. And Doug said, I'm leaving him alone was a little bit of my own thing. We talk so much about how the defense has not risen to the occasion. And you're right for those who say that. We have not had a really good defense. I mean, you could argue we haven't had a really good defense in a long time. I would say 2017 was the last time we had an okay defense, a defense that if you would have scored some points, we probably would have come out on top. We did that year. I think that was the year that if we scored 20 points, we won. If we didn't, we lost. That particular year, our defense was actually flexing a little bit that particular season. But over the last 10 plus years, our defenses have not been stellar. I always make the comparison. I know some people beat me up when I say this, and I go back and I look at his counterpart in Seattle, Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson, of course, lucked up because he had one of the most outstanding defenses in the Legion of Boom when he came out and got a chance to ride that wave all the way to the Super Bowl the one year. But since they have kind of departed and broken up and gone their separate ways, you can argue that Russell Wilson has not had a defense either. Add to that he hasn't had a very good offensive line. If you put those two things together and you start looking at some of the parallels between both of those guys, then you say, oh man, you know what? Russell dealing with the same thing. And guess what? Aside of 1 year, and I think the year that they did make the playoffs, I think they were still 9-7. Russell has had his team in playoff contention every year since then. Now, have they gone back to the Super Bowl? No. And he's suffering from the same thing that Matt is. But at the same time, Russell pulls something out of his hat, stretches a play out, do some things that are extraordinary to help his team get over the hump. So I'm not trying to sit here and act like the defense is doing their job. Not at all. But I will say you got to be extra. You got to be a little extra at that quarterback position. I'm expecting you with the financial money that we pay you, I'm expecting you to at least will me to at least 5-6 games a year, at least. And, Give me something. And I just don't feel like that is what Matt has. Matt has not been doing that. I see that brother Ryan says, preach the Falcons. We are like the Air Coryell Chargers of the early 80s. It's an offensive heavy team. We have switched defensive coordinators like people switch draws. And this is true. We have not had a great history with DCs. We had a short history with OCs, with Shanahan coming in and doing a little bit of damage then. But for the most part, I mean, we really haven't done a whole lot on the defensive side. So that comment is just a team sport. You can't blame one person. I get that, and the defense is not to blame. Matt, that's just something that it just irritates me. But it's on all these posts for people to see, and it just there's just something weird about that. One of my favorite ones that has started coming up a lot lately, and is always interesting when I see these, is the ones where someone will make a post or give a critique, and then you get the folks that will come on with the, you don't know football. I used to play or coach. Now, I one of the things that I always make clear that, one, this is a fan forum. I don't remember this being a fan forum for former players, for all that. I don't think it was. And if it was made for former fans, somebody let me know. Former players, I should say. Former players and coaches. But the thoughts, critiques, statements, and everything else here is made from the perspective of a fan. Now, if you happen to have certain expertise in areas that you want to share and add and say that, hey, I used to run this play and I used to be able to do this in high school, college, or whatever level that you played at, that's fine. But in a fan group, and especially in a football fan group, I'm not looking for a resume to see how many plays you've done or who you played with in your life and whatever. And matter of fact, I applaud you. If you played the game, that is great. That's awesome. And nobody can take that knowledge from you. But when you're in a fan group, you're going to get the perspective and the thoughts of a fan. I can't imagine that a regular player or somebody who's actively in the game right now or very entwined in the game is going to join a crew like ours to pop in with their opinion. Now, unless they're trolling us or something, you might have some people that go out there and they're like, oh, let me see what's going on in this group. Let me see if they're criticizing the Falcons, whatever. I don't see it, but maybe I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe there are some folks that go out there and they don't have anything else to do but to criticize. That's fine. But if you played football, if you coach football, congratulations. That's awesome. This is a fan group. You're going to get fan opinions. You're going to get fan reactions. And I don't know. I don't know what else to tell you. I think that's one of those things that when you break it down at the end of the day, there's no criteria for you to give an opinion. If you're a fan and you say, I think we got the best running back in the league, that's fine. And then you get the folks who coach and stuff and say, what do you know? You don't know football. What do you do? Well, if you knew football, you'd probably be working for one of the teams right now. My opinion. So I just always hear that. This is something that just, I don't know, makes, you know, how the fingernails against the chalkboard. I just always get that feeling when you get that. I don't understand why people always